Days of Our Lives. Where does Rafe go from here? A deep dive into his next possible romance in Salem. The soap opera storm has hit Salem hard once again, and in the middle of the chaos is none other than Rafe Hernandez, the ever-loyal lawman who now finds himself standing alone in the emotional ruins of a failed relationship. His romance with Jada has ended, not with a whisper, but with a firm and frustrated exit. And honestly, could anyone blame her? After weeks of doubt, tension, and emotional disconnect, Jada finally reached her limit. Her heart, once open and hopeful about a future with Rafe, could no longer carry the weight of uncertainty. In her eyes, their relationship wasn't heading anywhere stable, especially when intimacy and trust were fractured by secrets, mixed signals, and one undeniable betrayal, Rafe sleeping with his ex. A move that sealed his fate in Jada's eyes. For Jada, this wasn't just about infidelity or mixed priorities. It was about clarity. She needed to know she was walking towards something solid, not circling around someone who was emotionally lost. Her choice to walk away wasn't impulsive, it was the conclusion of a slow-burning disappointment. So now, Rafe is back on the market. But in Salem, being single isn't just about loneliness, it's about possibility. And in a town like this, every new connection could spark a firestorm. Let's take a look at the romantic landscape surrounding Rafe Hernandez and explore who could be next to steal his heart, or at least shake up his world. The history, broken hearts, missed chances, and emotional turmoil. Rafe's love life has always been complicated. From intense affairs with dangerous women to near fairy tale romances that ended in ashes, he's been burned more than once. Trust doesn't come easy to him anymore. And after what happened with Jada, it's likely he'll be cautious, but not idle. He's still a man who craves connection, and Salem is filled with women who could be the next chapter in his story. 1. A familiar face returns. Sammy's short stop in Salem. Sammy is expected to return to Salem this June, just in time for John Black's funeral. The timing is grim, the emotions will be running high, and the atmosphere will be charged. Sammy and Rafe have a long and passionate history, marred by betrayal, fiery tempers, and undeniable chemistry. Whenever they're in the same room, it feels like the air gets thicker. But here's the truth, Sammy never sticks around. She's always on the move, chasing one drama after another. If Rafe were to reconnect with her, it would likely be fleeting. A comfort. A distraction. Nothing long-term. And Rafe, though hurting, deserves more than a short-term fix. He needs healing, not more emotional whiplash. 2. Carrie Brady, the ex-wife who might stir old feelings. Carrie is also returning to Salem soon. It's been years, but time hasn't erased the connection they once shared. Their relationship ended quietly, almost respectfully, but it's doubtful that Carrie is in a position to rekindle anything. Last time we checked, she was happy with Austin, and the couple was expecting a baby. Unless she walks into town with news of a divorce and a new beginning, Rafe and Carrie are more likely to share a nostalgic embrace than a romantic revival. Still, the heart doesn't always follow logic, and Salem has a way of turning old flames into roaring fires. Could they be friends again? Yes. Could they be more? That depends entirely on what secrets Carrie brings back with her. 3. Melinda Trask, an unlikely yet strangely compatible match. Then there's Melinda Trask. Yes, the former DA. Yes, the same woman who often found herself in professional disagreements with Rafe when he was the sheriff. But let's not forget. Chemistry can grow from conflict, and sometimes the most intense connections are born from mutual respect and shared frustrations. Melinda is single, unburdened, and smarter than most people in town give her credit for. She's tough, she's precise, and she's got a sharp tongue, but beneath it all is a woman who has been left behind more times than she'd admit. Her last romance ended in tragedy, with Lee's death leaving her emotionally adrift. Could Rafe be the anchor she doesn't even realize she needs? They've both been burned, both know what it's like to be lied to, and both care deeply about law and justice. Picture them, late at night, sitting in a diner, talking about corruption, justice, and maybe even life beyond the badge. There's potential there, gritty, honest, and surprisingly comforting. For Kristen D. Mara, the temptation he should resist, but might not, and then we have the wild card. The walking, talking danger zone. Kristen D. Mara. She's no stranger to chaos. She thrives in it. But something about her pulls certain men in like moths to a flame. Rafe has a track record of falling for complicated women, and Kristen fits the mold perfectly. She's alone now. Brady has firmly shut the door on any reconciliation, and Ava's absence means Kristen is once again untethered. For Rafe, she represents everything he shouldn't want: manipulation, unpredictability, emotional destruction. But isn't that exactly what made his past with Sammy, Ava, and Nicole so hard to walk away from? Rafe has always had a soft spot for women who play by their own rules. If Kristen were to set her sights on him, and let's be honest, she's unpredictable enough to do just that, he might find himself falling for the very kind of woman who once nearly ruined him. And if nothing else, it would be a romance that Salem would talk about for years. So, what comes next for Rafe? Rafe is no stranger to heartbreak. He's been betrayed, abandoned, and misunderstood. But each time he's fallen, he's stood back up. He's not just a man in uniform, he's a man who wants love, who believes in second chances, and who's learning, slowly but surely, that maybe the right person is someone he never expected. As Salem shifts and changes, so too will Rafe's path. Maybe it leads back to someone familiar. Maybe it opens a door to someone new. But one thing is certain, his story is far from over. 5. Kristen D. Mara, dangerous, dazzling, and a deal with the devil? There's no denying that Kristen is a walking red flag. Her history is a patchwork of deception, manipulation, and barely legal schemes. And yet, that's exactly what makes her such a magnet for men like Rafe. He's been burned before, by schemers, seductresses, and women who danced on the edge of the law, but there's something about Kristen that calls to a hidden part of him. The part that thrives on danger. The part that just might be desperate enough to dance with the devil if it means getting what he wants. And what he wants right now? Dirt on EJ and Arnold Feniger. Ever since Rafe got it into his head that EJ and Arnold kidnapped him, he's been chasing proof like a man possessed. He doesn't have it yet, but he believes Kristen does. Or at the very least, she knows more than she's letting on. So, what's a desperate man to do when justice won't play fair? He might just try to romance the truth out of her. A seduction for strategy? The whispers in Salem suggest just that. Rafe could be preparing to seduce Kristen, not for love, not for lust, well, maybe a little, but for leverage. He's in dangerous territory. Because Kristen isn't just another woman. She's a woman who reads people like books and writes her own endings. If Rafe comes at her with lies in his eyes and secrets in his heart, Kristen will know. But if he lets himself slip, even just a little, he might find himself genuinely entangled in something far darker, far messier, and far more irresistible than he bargained for. Meanwhile, Jada moves on, with a familiar face while Rafe wrestles with seduction and strategy. Jada Hunter is carving out a new chapter of her own. Word around town is that she's now spending more and more time with Sean Brady. Yes, that's Sean Brady. The connection may have started as casual, even comforting, but it's beginning to blossom into something real. Jada has made it clear, she's done with Rafe's emotional confusion and half-answers. She wants clarity, maturity, and stability. And with Sean, she just might get it. Their growing bond is subtle, but the tension is starting to show. Glances are lasting a little too long. Conversations are growing more personal. And Rafe? He sees it. He feels it. And he hates it. But the truth is, Rafe let Jada slip away. And now, someone else is holding the hand he once had. Kristen's clock is ticking. Is prison next? Here's the kicker in all of this, Kristen may not be on the canvas much longer. Legal trouble is circling her like vultures. Her list of crimes, both known and suspected, is longer than most rap sheets in Salem. And with the recent drama surrounding E.J., Stefan, and the mounting tension in the DiMera family, Kristen could soon find herself on trial, behind bars, and out of the picture entirely. So if Rafe's planning to get close to her, the clock is ticking. Whatever game he's playing, he needs to win fast, or risk losing everything. And if Kristen's arrested, any romantic strategy goes up in smoke. Your turn. Who should be Rafe's next love? Should he take a chance on rekindling something with an ex like Carrie or Sammy? Should he explore new terrain with someone like Melinda? Or should he walk willingly into the fire with someone like Kristen? Whatever happens, it'll be passionate, messy, and absolutely unmissable. Let us know who you think is the best match for Rafe, and stay tuned for more Salem drama, because love never stays quiet for long in this town.